Hello, my name is Ryan Hampton, and this is the poster critique for Taylor Matushek for D&P 805. So I just want to start off and say congratulations, Taylor. Your poster looks very good. This is the poster entitled Postpartum Hemorrhage Management Educational Quality Improvement Initiative. And so I'm just going to follow the rubric here and just kind of go down and with the final score. Just starting out and just looking at it, it has very nice aesthetic. It looks like it's put together very well. It's very visual appealing and it looks nice, from the reader's perspective. So yeah, starting at the top as far as the research problem and rationale goes. I felt like the rationale of the study was explained pretty clearly, and as were the objectives were outlined both in the summary abstract and then also in the research problem area. I did score a 2 for point A, which says clearly stated questions or hypotheses, because there's not explicitly a hypothesis or a question stated in the research problem. You do give the background of the issue, but there's no explicit hypothesis stated. So I did score that a 2. Moving on to the literature review and background theory, I feel like you did a great job here providing the literature from the original study. Again, I took 1 point off in this section just because for the last point where it says references are cited appropriately, the only reference you have is the actual study, and so in the literature review there's no references explaining some of the background theory and problems. So but aside from that, everything was clear. There's plenty of evidence and supporting information here to go with the project, so I think that was good. The method section looks great. I really like the box here and how you made this graph, whatever, where it's who, where, what, when. That looks nice, and it's kind of the focal point of the project, and it looks really sharp, and it kind of draws your eye, and so I think that looks really well. And of course the content explains the methods of the intervention pretty well, and what was done for the project. In the analysis section, this also looks really good. I did take 1 point off here also just because the first point says figures and tables are used appropriately, and there's no figures or tables. It's just text, which it kind of, I see it's maybe a bit of a challenge to put some of this into graph form, but maybe a couple of pie charts or something just showing the different demographics or the mean, the pre-test score versus the post-test score, just some type of a graph, like a bar graph or something showing the differences would have been just add another visual component to the project, even though it's pretty simple, data there. But so anyways, I took a point off for that. As far as the conclusions and discussion go, you really do a good job summarizing the project and kind of bringing everything back together. And the same thing in the limitations and future recommendations. I think that both look really nice and they make good content, and so I got you full points for everything else on the paper. The only comment I had is that if it would have been feasible, I'm not sure the extent of the 4 domains, because you say the 4 domains are what we're going to guide the postpartum hemorrhage management and kind of frame the presentation. It would have been nice to at least provide those, or at least kind of summarize them, just for somebody who's looking at the poster, just to kind of have that information to know what the presentation was based off of, and what kind of information was given in some type of a summary form. Maybe that's very extensive and that would have taken up too much space, but just to have some kind of summary, that was kind of my only comment. So anyways, so I gave you a 63 out of 66, and I think it looks great. I think you did a good job, and yeah, again, congratulations. Nice poster.